What is going on? My name is Mike, and this is all about pressure washing. And today we're going to talk about how to negotiate and still keep your customers happy. But real quick, there are about 6 WashCon tickets left. They are not going to last. So if you're interested in joining us in Nashville for the #1 pressure washing business event on earth, click the link below. So we are always going to run into customers that are looking for a better deal. And if you learn the best ways to negotiate with them, everybody walks away winning and feeling good about it. And hopefully building a long-lasting relationship, which leads to years and years of business with that customer. So here are a few tips for negotiating that I hope are going to help you close more deals. Number 1, you have to ask questions. Don't be that guy that's running your mouth nonstop. You are there to solve their problem, not talk about yourself, not talk about your business. They don't care about the GPMs, the PSI, or what ratio you're going to spray on their house. All they want is the job to be done and to feel comfortable that you're going to be able to do it. So let them tell you what they need. If you ask the right questions, they're going to tell you what they're really looking for. Maybe they've got a couple of other prices from some other folks, and maybe, and most likely, they're not comparing apples to apples. But if you listen, then you can explain exactly what value you are going to offer them. If you find out the true priorities of the customer, you can then alter your sales pitch to those needs. And I'm not saying to be deceptive. I'm saying not to overpromise and underdeliver. But the bottom line with this one is ask questions, keep your mouth shut, and listen to their answers. Number 2 is probably the most important, and that's to never negotiate on pricing alone. So maybe you've asked the questions, maybe they haven't opened up, maybe they haven't shared what they're actually looking for or what their needs are. And this is when you need to consider all the ways that you can add value that don't involve price. What is it that differentiates you from your competition? Maybe you can meet their scheduling needs. Maybe it's the fact that they don't need to be home for the work to be complete. Maybe you take online payments and that makes it easier for them. It can be a number of things, but be prepared to talk about these things with the customer if it comes up. And as you discuss these things, the value-added propositions, you're probably going to trigger some interest of the customer. Maybe they didn't even know some of the things until you brought them up, and then you can start a discussion there, maybe circle back around and start asking some questions again. If you understand what they're looking for, then you're able to add value beyond just the price, because price isn't everything. So many people get sucked into this mindset, and trust me, when I was first starting out, I did too, and I probably left hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table because I was more worried about the price and closing the customer than anything else. The next thing is giving a little to get a little, and I'm talking about making concessions with your customer, offering things your customer values, but really have a low incremental cost to your business. Maybe you can offer a 2-year guarantee on a roof cleaning. This provides a tremendous amount of value, and we all know that the chances of you actually having to go back and touch up a roof in that time period isn't something that's likely going to happen very often. But offering this follow-up, you can provide more value to your customer because they're getting a longer-term commitment from you, and they see that that has more value to them. And there is value there. If they happen to have another spot that comes up on that roof, it's not that big of a deal to go hit it for them, right? But you're building a customer for life. I just mentioned scheduling and payment types, and these are things that you can also play around with, and it's not really going to cost you any money. Maybe your schedule is pretty full, but they need it done quickly. You're not going to lower your price. Maybe you're going to raise it a little bit, but you're able to shuffle your schedule around to get them in when they want to get in. Again, this is a win-win for everybody. And then let's talk about pricing. And I'm not talking about how to quote or how to price, and I'm not suggesting this for residential work, primarily commercial. But a lot of companies, big companies, would love a 1% discount on bigger jobs, right? 1% doesn't sound like a lot, but when it's a $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 job, it does add up. And big corporations, big companies are going to want that 1% discount. So if you're quoting something like this, think about that. Think about offering them some sort of discount. So in a scenario like this, there's a lot of folks that are unwilling to do it, or they don't even know about pricing terms. I'm not going to go real in depth about that right now, but offering special terms has really helped us close a lot more big jobs. Now, the last thing that we'll talk about is being completely transparent with your customers. As a business owner, you shouldn't have anything to hide, right? And understand that people don't need to understand your overhead. They don't need to understand really anything except your price. And it's just none of their business. It's like when I go to a nice restaurant, right? If I go to Morton's for a steak, I don't ask to see their P&L. I'm just going to pay the price. It's irrelevant why they're pricing it the way it is. It is what it is. I can either pay them for that steak or I don't get it. I can choose to go there, or I can go to McDonald's. Now, you can explain what the costs involved are if you want, why you price it the way you price it, things like insurance to protect the customer, taxes that you pay because you're a legitimate business. Now, these are things that lots of the fly-by-night cheap guys don't have and they don't talk about. And there's nothing wrong with addressing that, but it shouldn't be your main talking point. But if it gets down to that, why not throw it in there? And if you're comparing prices, let them know why and what they're getting for the additional cost of doing business with you. Make sure they understand understand that you want to satisfy them, make them happy, but that you also have a business to run, and you can only go so far as the negotiations go. In a perfect world, none of us want to negotiate or give up margin, but there are certain scenarios where you might need to or want to do this in order to close the deal. Pricing is fluid. It's up to you to determine how much profit you want to make on every single job. Obviously, you're never going to price a job where you're losing money, and that's why it's so important to have a firm understanding of your business, of your overhead. You got to know all your numbers so you can go out there and price accurately, price strategically. And when you price strategically, you're also leaving a little bit of room in there for some negotiation if you have to. Listen, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel. Don't forget about those WashCon tickets. It's going to be an amazing event that is going to change your business forever if you decide to join us in Nashville. Also, there's a link below for the resource page. If you like this video, but you still got questions on how to wash or how to quote, things like that, we've got amazing training courses for you. We've also got a ton of good marketing material over there. So if you've got any questions about those type of things, check that page out. Thanks for watching and have a great day.